Hey, I'm Shauna. Welcome to Good News Only, the show where we celebrate the stories that uplift and inspire and bring us all together every weekday morning at 10:30 a.m. We are recapping the good news only, the feel-good headlines, the community and local wins that bring a little more light to your day. And I want to hear from you too. So if something good is happening in your world, personal victory, a community success, a birthday, or just something that made you smile, send me an email to news25@wek.com and be sure to put Hey Shauna in the subject line so I know it's for me. I would love to share your good news right here on the show. So today's show is no different than any other. We have plenty of good news. We've got an interesting story about a high school and what they're teaching these days. You know, when I was in high school, like, in terms of trades and stuff, when I was in high school, we had a daycare in our school. I took a child development class, and we had an entire daycare. Like, I was always surprised up until I graduated that each year parents actually dropped their babies off at this daycare. Not that there was anything wrong with it. It was very regulated and it was safe. But I just was always surprised that parents were like, "Oh, okay." But I guess it's no different than if you have kids and you let teenagers babysit, right? What better place, I guess, than to be at a high school where they're teaching them to properly care for your kids. But it was so fun. We did flour sack babies. Anybody remember those? Where you make the babies with a sack of flour and pantyhose? That was so cool. I remember we did the little baby doll thing that would cry. Mine cried all the time. It was programmed to cry. Cried all the time, and I'll never forget the first day I got it. I sat it on the table and it fell off onto the floor. So that was it for that. That was, I think, foreshadowing of things to come because my baby used to always fall off of stuff. That my real baby, Taylor, surprise, that girl is pre-med because I always had her falling off downstairs, off of the table. She fell off, tucked in her little snowsuit. She couldn't move and she fell face first to the floor. I mean, that I should have known then at the time that little automated baby in child development hit the ground, that I was probably going to have my own baby hit the ground because she did. But she survived. And that's the good news of it all. Then we're also talking about on today's show grandma hobbies. I don't know why they are calling them grandma hobbies, but grandma hobbies, as they call them, are trending, and that's very interesting because we are doing something kind of grandma-ish, I guess, for my sister's birthday. So I think that might be a little bit true. My sister says she cannot wait to get old, as she calls it, and play, so she can play bingo. So we're going to see how that turns out this year. But in the meantime, we'll have more good news only after the break.
That was a safety act. Right, and then I made it worse. I didn't realize how bad I just made it.
You know, it's got a delay.
No, no, I'm talking about there's no video. You just are you?
It's the first 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Is this mine?
What?
This piece of paper?
No, that's theirs. That's something they left up there.
Yeah.
That's something they left up here from last night. Where did you put it? Wow.
Yeah, I can't reach it.
Wow. Them all that and you can't reach them long arms. You can't reach it.
You okay?
Uh-huh. You okay? Welcome back to more Good News Only. So, there is a high school that has a hair salon. I thought this was so cool, and the kids seem to really enjoy it. And the clients say the sweetest thing about this salon. So, thought you might like to take a look at it. So, at Waltham High School, students are gaining real world experience running Watch City Salon number 3. And this client here was really excited about it. She says it's the best, the nicest salon she's been to in a while. So I thought that was a huge compliment for these young people. I'm sure that their hard work feels worth it after that kind of compliment. Cosmetology student Tiffany calls the salon her home and her creative space. There are some people who love to do hair. Now, I am not one of them. I absolutely hate it. Can I do it? Do I know how to do it? Was I forced to learn how to do it as a child? Absolutely. Do I want to do it? No. But there are people who I admire the fact that they love to stand up for long hours and just create hairstyle after hairstyle after hairstyle in people's hair. It's not something that I personally enjoy doing. How about you, Sam? We have a special guest right now. Sam, do you enjoy doing hair?
Do I enjoy doing
Do
hair?
you do hair?
Well, Lashana said I could crash anytime I wanted, so
Yeah.
here I am. Yeah, I actually learned about how to braid my sister-in-law's hair.
Oh, yeah?
I have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
Should husbands or brothers, should they be like trained or I guess taught how to braid hair for their siblings or their kids?
I think it's a good skill to have. I don't think that it's like law one way or the other. Like you absolutely must learn how to do this because girls, believe it or not, my sister has a child and she cannot do her own hair. So it falls on me and my mom. So there are people, and I have a friend like that too. She has 4 girls and married and can't do hair. So there are some people who just can't. So I don't think it's any different for males or females. I think it's just kind of according to who the person is, right?
True.
Because my sister and I were born and raised in the same house, and I had to sit down and learn it. She went and played. But then there are people who really just take to it and they like it anyway, right? So I think it's just kind of a thing, like if they're interested. And if they will sit down and do it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I think. My sister-in-law taught me how to do it. Said I had to, so it was kind of like you're doing this.
Yeah, I think it's a great.
I'm okay. I'm not great. I'm okay.
Yeah, I think it's a great skill to have because I do think it feels as if, I'll say that I haven't done the study, but it feels as if more women than men know how to braid hair.
That's
know how to do
understandable.
hair, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you won't always have a woman around to do it. So I think
Yeah.
it's a good skill to have, just like cooking.
Yeah.
And just like some women cannot cook, I think that it's a good skill for any sex to have. So
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
I think it's pretty. It was a
Cool.
great question. What do you think? Let us know. News25week.com. Do you think men and young men should, like emphasis on the word should, learn how to braid hair? Be sure to put "Hey Shauna" or "Hey Sam" in the subject line so we know that it is for us. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining us, Sam. That
Yeah,
was
I'll
a
crash
great
by more
question.
often.
I'll let you know. Yeah, and I'll let you know what everybody says. I
Okay,
think that was
I
a
gotta
great
know.
question.
I'm
Yeah.
not great at it. I got to say that for the record. I'm not great.
No,
Work in progress.
but you can. But at least you can get that hair up out of the face, so that's good, and get a good tangle out. So I think that's sort of kind of, yeah, there are times where you braid over that tangle, but at the same time, like I just think it's once you learn how, like the ABCs of it, the more you do it, the better you get at
Okay.
it. Yeah.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
definitely a thing of practice. It takes some time. But you
Okay.
got it. Great job.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
love that question. Well, we're going to move on to these students here that are learning how to do everything from perms. I mean, it is so cool the things that they are learning to do in high school. Did you guys have like any interesting trades?
In high school, we had
Yeah.
like a shop class. We had the referendum for my high school in Wisconsin took part like literally like the year after I graduated. But they got like a car shop, a 2-car lift.
Really?
Yep, maintenance for that. Welding, woods. Woods is pretty typical though. Welding seems like it's more typical nowadays. Though. How
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah, we had child development.
Yeah, we had that too.
And we had a daycare
Oh,
at
wow.
our school. Yeah, like these kids have a salon. We had a whole daycare, and parents would bring their kids every year
Interesting.
to this daycare, just like people are coming to this salon every year where these students are learning how to cut hair. I mean, I don't know if I guess I would trust a high school student to cut my hair to grow back.
Depends on which one, right?
Right, yeah. It's hair, it'll grow back.
Yeah.
But I bet it's a full, fun experience. The clients that come here, like this lady here, she says that this is the nicest salon that she has been to. And this young woman was saying just about how this salon is her creative, safe space.
Did you mention that this is students that are doing this?
Students, high school students.
Well,
yeah.
would you know, I did a story on District 150, Peoria Public Schools, did a story on them about a year ago, how they have,
Really?
at the Woodruff Career and Technical Center, they have programs where, I think like 15 different trade programs. Students, the first half of their day, they're doing their general classes at like their school, Richwoods, Manual, Peoria High. And then the second half of the day, they're going over to this Woodruff Career and Technical Center, and they can learn how to be a barber, how to go into cosmetology. And the school
Really?
pays for it. And then they also pay for your test as well. So you're getting a
That is
hands-on
amazing.
experience with clients. I know with the barbering, I also did a story on them. They actually have a shop in Northwoods Mall where the students, after they get enough hands-on time in the classroom, they're actually then able to put that into practice, make money, have their own clients,
Yes,
and then get their
I love
their
the
license.
idea of that. I love that the kids can do that kind of thing coming straight out of high school, because even if they decide they want to go to college, there's a way
Yeah.
to kind of support themselves without having to work, long, unpredictable hours, at a fast food
Yeah.
restaurant or something. They can kind of control their own income
Yeah.
and have an extra source throughout their lives. I think that is so cool, but I really do think it's awesome that something like that is taking place right here in Peoria. Sometimes we just don't know what's happening around us unless people like you do great stories like that. I had no idea that was happening. Now I wasn't here.
Yeah.
I wasn't living
It was
in
before
the
your time.
area,
I'll
right,
send you
at
the
the
link.
time. But how else would I know? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And so I think that's why it's news shows like this one, and of course what we run throughout the day are so important, so we know what's happening in our community, so we know what's available to us. That's so cool. I didn't know they were doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, they have
Wow.
a bunch of other programs too. I can't remember any others off the top of my head, but I know barbering, cosmetology. That's
Do they
all
have
that I
like
can
an
remember.
EMS? I know back in where I came here from in Columbia, they had an EMS. You could be certified in whatever certificate. The certificate is called for that there. My daughter took that, but they
Interesting.
could.
I can't confirm that. I would have to go look back
Yeah.
on the Woodruff Career and Technical Center's
Yeah.
website. But I do know they have those two, and they have I think 6 or 10 more.
That is awesome.
Yeah, all for students to explore. Some, like you said, some students don't want to go to college. Some of
Yeah.
them don't want to be stuck at a fast food restaurant or work retail, or even a server or a bartender is a way for them to be encouraged to explore interest outside
Outside
of the
of-
classroom while learning it inside the classroom.
Inside, yeah, I think that's definitely a great point, because they're saying now people are making actually more money at the
Yeah.
trades.
Oh, a lot more money
Yeah,
in some instances.
yes, then people who go and get a 4-year degree, and I do think those are kind of lost on us in past
Yeah.
years. Things like especially auto mechanic.
Auto mechanic, plumbing, all those things
Yes,
that people
yes,
kind of think are
plumbing.
maybe some people may not feel are the most like desirable jobs,
Yeah.
but they're essential and they're necessary to
And
every day.
people make really good money
They do.
as plumbers.
That's why they pay a lot, because they need people in those positions.
Yes,
So
that is so crazy.
explore your career path.
And to think that you can do something like that right out of high school,
Yeah.
like get that skill right out of high school, it's really cool. Yeah, so that was great. Thank you for joining
Yeah,
us today.
absolutely.
Great
I
conversation.
appreciate you letting me crash in like always.
Yes, join us anytime. We'll have more good news only after the break. All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. It was fun.
Welcome back to more good news only. So I'm going to finish up talking about the story about the children and, sorry, they are kids, but the teenagers at the high school with that cool hair salon. So Griselda, which is another student at the hair salon, she says working with clients boosts her confidence and communication skills, which I think is a really good point. Because when you go to the hair salon, there's usually, just like when you go get your nails done, there's usually lots of conversation. And I don't mind a nice, quiet salon service, but I also don't want it to be like stale and stiff. I like a comfortable silence if that's what we're going to do, but I don't mind talking either. So I think it's really good to be able to know how, and you have to be able to listen, right? Like communication is not just about talking, it's about being able to listen and get what it is your client needs, get a full understanding of that, and then being able to provide that. So that's really good point she's made. Teacher Yolanda Crowell says that the program prepares students for licensing and careers, which Sam and I talked about a little bit earlier. And with limited spots, this program is competitive, so that helps the students kind of make sure it's really something they want to be involved with, and graduates are ready for the beauty industry after they finish. So this is a really good program, as we said before. And from styling hair to shaping minds, a new trend is bringing young women together in an unexpected way. And I just thought it was very interesting that now these, what they are calling grandma hobbies, are trending in Northwest West Arkansas. Younger generations are embracing traditional hobbies like mahjong and needlepoint. And I think we've talked about the mahjong before and how people are embracing it, but this looks very festive. It looks like they really are getting into it. Co-founder Brooke Benoit of Mockingbird and Magnolia Mahjong says that the game builds strategy and connection. I bet it keeps the mind sharp too. You know, the earlier you start working on that stuff, the better chances you have at keeping a healthy brain throughout your life. Businesses like Mackenzie King's and Natural State Needlepoint are seeing a surge in interest. That's really cool. I didn't know. I mean, what do you do in a needlepoint business? Is it something like a hobby kind of shop where people can come in and learn how to do it, or what? Because like I think it was Joann's that used to have like cake decorating classes and sewing classes. So I wonder if business is sort of something like that. Participants say that these hobbies provide a break from screens and daily stress, and many are bonding across generations. That would sounds like a wonderful thing to do with a mother or grandmother, or even a niece or nephew and grandchildren. Learning skills passed down from mothers and grandmothers is a great way to stay connected to the elders in your family. The trend highlights a desire for community, mindfulness, and creativity. We'll have more Good News Only after the break. Welcome back to more Good News Only. I would like to say hello to a friend of mine who's watching all the way from Thailand. Hi, Chef. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the show. So, we're currently discussing my necklace choices. So, he's watching, like I said, from Thailand. He's looking over some of the past shows, and I sometimes wear a necklace with an S initial for Shauna on there. And sometimes I don't wear it. I love it, but I don't always wear it depending on what earrings I have on and what outfit I have on because I feel like it comes across a little bulky. However, he feels that the heart that I sometimes wear is a little bulky. What do you think? Send me an email, news25week.com, and help us solve this dilemma while I'm live on air talking to my friend in Thailand who is watching this show. Isn't that awesome? He moved to Thailand, I think it's been almost 2 years ago, and he absolutely loves it. And I love that for him. I love that he has found solace and solitude and peace and adventure. We only have one life to live, and I love that he is doing something that makes him happy with his. So there's a lady, speaking of lives to live, who is celebrating her 107th birthday. That's a lot of life and a lot of years to spend not doing what you want to do. But she actually did. She is spending her time, her birthday, with her family, which is what I think was something we all would hope that we could do at that age. On a special day such as that. Look at that. Her little great grandchildren, they're so happy to be with her. She spent time with her family, including those great grandchildren, ahead of her big day. She credits her hard work and country living for her longevity. And I can say, as a girl who grew up in the country, I believe her. I wish for those simple days. It felt like we were living a little rough then on the farm, and just remember walking barefoot on rocks. And it just felt like we were playing in the shed and on the water heater in the backyard and swinging from willow trees. And that's nothing compared to living in a city. It is busy, loud, and fast, but there's just something to be said about that country living, and she has confirmed it. She fondly recalls picking blueberries and enjoying fresh air growing up. Her story is a reminder of resilience and simple living. Family members say her life is an inspiration across generations. Well, happy birthday to her, 107. That is awesome. Well, that's a wrap from me today. Now I want to hear from you. Please go to news25 at week.com and let me know what you thought about today's show. In the meantime, be sure to check out the midday or the evening newscast, and meet me back here tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. for more Good News Only. I'm LaShawna Guy for 25 News. Have a wonderful day.